It's a day that many have been waiting for on the Gulf Coast. Airbus has opened in Mobile. The 50-plus acre facility opened today with a lot of fanfare. Local and state officials were on hand along with a host of others from Europe. This is the first Airbus facility in the U.S. The plant will mainly be responsible for building the A320 series of planes. The company also builds the planes at its plants in Hamburg, Germany, and Toulouse, France, as well as in China. There were about 1,000 people on hand for the festivities today. The CEO and one of Alabama's senators expressed their delight in the plant's opening.
Clearly, this new group of Airbus people behind me is ready to get started here in this beautiful new manufacturing facility.
It's going to help the United States economy, and I could not be more thrilled.
And it was the biggest event so far to celebrate Airbus's first ever aircraft assembly plant in the U.S. Local and state officials, along with Airbus executives, celebrated the inaugural opening of the Mobile final assembly line right next to their newest U.S. employees. News 5's Bill Riles was there and reports this plant is part of Airbus's plan for the future of its global business.
A huge celebration. Top company executives joined state and local people they've been working with for up to 10 years to establish Airbus's first major footprint in the U.S.
If you look back over what all has gone on for the last 10 years, this really is transformative to the whole Gulf Coast.
Former Governor Bob Riley on hand with current Governor Robert Bentley and as many as 1,000 others in attendance for the big day. Some executives from Europe were getting their first look at the Mobile plant.
First of all, it looks brand new, as usual, so it's really good to see now things moving from a PowerPoint into reality.
Airbus America's chairman Alan McCarter says the company is committed to building the 4 A320 aircraft per month it said it would. But the company's worldwide backlog of orders for that plane is almost 6,000. There have been hints of expansion in Mobile.
And we're using about half of the real estate that we have, we've tied down here at Berkeley Aeroplex. So when we have another project, whether it's a military conversion project, maybe some other commercial program, but when we have some other industrial activity, we'll come here. And
Airbus in the U.S. is no accident. McCarter says there was always a plan.
This is part of our industrial strategy, our global industrial strategy. We wanted to have a presence in Europe, a presence in China, and a presence in the United States.
In the U.S., Airbus has about a 20% market share of their most popular airplanes. They hope by opening their U.S. plant, they can compete in a more head-on way with Boeing and a share of about 50% of that market. Reporting from the newsroom, Bill Riles, News 5.
The first planes to be built in Mobile will be the Airbus A321 CEO or current engine option. They are the largest of Airbus's A320 family. They're nearly half a football field in length. They can hold up to 220 miles. It boasts the best air mile cost of any single-aisle aircraft. Airbus officials say it's the perfect aircraft in an industry that is looking for the best value.
They are efficient to be operated, they are very comfortable, we have the largest cabin widths amongst all others in this segment, so it's clearly the best aircraft in the world that we are building in the US now.
The A321 uses what's known as the current engine option. The NEO, or new engine option, will not be introduced at first in Mobile's final assembly line. Production is underway now, but there's already been talk of expansion. News 5's Jacqueline Quinn talked with the company's top brass about this prospect and joins us now live. Jacqueline?
Devin, we know right now they're working on 2 planes, but they have a major backlog. At maximum output, 4 planes will be manufactured a month. That's only about 50 planes a year. So now what if they could double that?
Well, that's not as easy as simply speeding up the work. In fact, the company's CEO tells us you would have to duplicate the final assembly line. So take a look at what the plant looks like from above. The largest hangar in the center is the final assembly line. And at maximum, only 4 jets can be manufactured at a time. Airbus would have to build another one of these and a new paint shop to double production. Looking around the facility, you can see there's a lot of space, but Airbus would have to work around its main runway at Berkeley Field. Now there's space to the rear, in and around the parking lot, and potentially there's room near the practice runway that's rarely used.
Company's president says the A320 family of planes is their most popular line, and that backlog, it's currently more than 5,000 planes in waiting for production. But there aren't plans to expand yet. He says the market's long-term demand will decide that. Now I'll show you more on how quickly they put these planes together on the final assembly line in the next hour. In the newsroom, Jacqueline Quinn, News 5.
Thanks, Jacqueline. There are about 260 employees currently working for Airbus in Mobile. It will take about 2 years for the facility to reach full capacity. News 5's Emily DeVoe picks up our team coverage on the grand opening of Airbus. She is live at the Brooklyn Aeroplex to explain. Emily?
Well, Devin, that 260 employee number will turn into 1,000 by the time the facility here is operating at full capacity. Now, that won't happen until about 2017. And even with 1,000 workers, Airbus will only be about a fourth of the size as Austal as far as employment measures. So you have to look at the big picture here. The facility is attracting outside suppliers. Right now, they've got about 10, but that number is about to increase in the next 4 months.
Right now, we're in the finishing throes of probably 6 new suppliers coming to the Brooklyn Aeroplex, and that will probably happen over the next 90 to 120 days. We'll be announcing those 6, and it's just constantly evolving. So it's more of a trickle than a flood.
Several potential suppliers were at today's ceremony. We know at least one was going to look at an empty hangar as soon as they finished up here. We'll have more on the growth and what's expected to come at 6 o'clock. Live at the Brooklyn Aeroplex, Emily DeVoe, News 5.
Thanks, Emily. Airbus has invested around $600 million to build the facility at the Brooklyn Aeroplex in Mobile. You might remember the company based in Toulouse, France, initially picked Mobile for their refueling plane program. But Airbus lost that military contract to Boeing. This is aerial video we shot of the facility being built back in June. Airbus has cited lower labor costs in Alabama and access to a port for picking the new location. Ground was broken on the Airbus facility in April of 2013. Most of the officials on hand today were also here for the groundbreaking. Hoare Construction, along with Honeywell Company, got the facility up and running in near record time. The first major components of the A321 arrived in Mobile back in June. You'll remember the city held a Mardi Gras-style parade as the parts were moved from the port to the Brooklyn Aeroplex. Landing the Airbus deal did not come without a price. The company was offered more than $150 million in incentives. So far, the state has paid about $40 million to Airbus, with another 30 to go. Alabama Industrial Development Training, better known as AIDT, put up another $50 million. Mobile County has pledged $14 million and the city of Mobile $18 million. The money is being spent to build the Airbus plant as well as improve roads and other infrastructure.